What's up, world? It's your boy Tommy Mab, and I came to give my quick review on Avengers Endgame. Give my thoughts on whether or not I think it's overrated, and whether I think a lot of the hoopla surrounding it is based purely more in fanboyism than it is more so in the actual plot. Um, so I'll start out by saying that Avengers Endgame had a lot to like. It was very well written. I thought it was very well directed. The visuals were outstanding, amazing. It was a lot to love about the picture. But I think people need to see it in context, and they need to understand it in context. As beautiful and as mesmerizing as the visuals, the storytelling, and all that stuff was, people have to put it in context and understand a lot of that was based in the fact that you knew what this studio, you were engrossed in these characters. They didn't have to explain the characters. You know what I'm saying? I think that, like, DC gets a hard time for the movies they put out, and they should, because their movies generally suck. When you have so much to work with, meaning your characters are so established that you can pretty much put anybody in any spot, and people are just gonna be engrossed in it because it doesn't matter, because they've had years with these characters, right? Prime example. In if you would have did this whole situation with Black Widow, and you would have did it in with her in Avengers 2, nobody would have cared. I mean, she was a throwaway character. Same with Hawkeye. They used to make jokes about Hawkeye being a throwaway character. They were all throwaway characters, but they became main players and main stars in the universe because over time they were in all the movies. Especially Black Widow. I mean, I literally had no reaction to her dying. I didn't really care. I never really was a fan of her character. I really didn't get her character. I thought it made no sense. Okay, so you're a person who mercilessly kills people all the time, but you're somehow kind-hearted and love because another guy who kills people without thinking about it. It's like it goes back to what Loki said. You know what I'm saying, in that second movie, which I always thought was the truth, when he was like, "I'm supposed to care about one killer who you feel like his life means more, and he's killed more about as many people as you have." That to me was a very poignant statement. I thought that statement summed up the stupidity of her character. It's like it makes no sense. And I understand people are gonna say, "Oh well, he came and he saved her from a life of servitude." What life of servitude did he save her from? She went from being she stated in this movie that the Avenger was the first real family she had. So obviously, going into this situation, she didn't she was already, before she met Tony Stark, she was really just a hired hand. I don't see how he changed her life to the point that she would care so much about it. I don't understand that, or at least it need to be explained better. I know she has a movie coming out, and maybe they are going to explain it a little better. But as for right now, I have no gravity to her character because I didn't understand her character. I didn't get her character, and I don't read comic books, so I'm not engrossed in any of this crap. To be honest, I really didn't care. When she died, I was just like, oh, okay, I guess she did. Tony Stark, like, people were saying they were crying. I mean, people see people crying in the theater, and I understand that. You feel a level of gravity to the character because you basically watch him for 10 years. But I'm a grown ass man. I'm not crying over a movie character dying. I'm sorry, and I can understand the gravity of it. But I've had too many real tragedies to be sitting there crying about a freaking guy on screen dying. Did they do it well? I thought it was amazingly well done. Um, um, but once again, it's like, daddy deep pockets. Like, what? Let's be real. What are we really saying? And probably should have said this at the beginning, but and I probably put something in there, but it's a spoiler alert because I'm going to be talking about a lot of this stuff, and I probably should have put a spoiler alert up. And I'm sorry about that, but I will rectify that. But regardless, here's my point. When Tony Stark, whole situation, Tony Stark got his basically got his butt handed to him for 2 movies. He basically got a crap kicked out of him for 2 movies, and then in the end, he like fights Thanos. And let me get this straight: Thanos, Iron Man, Spider Man, and the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy, who really were just normal people. None of them are like super strong or anything. He was struggling with them. But now in this movie, he's fighting Thor, Captain America with Thor's hammer, and Tony Stark, and he's beating the crap out of all 3 of them by himself. Makes no sense at all. I mean, like I said, I'm not here to bag on the movie. I'm just here to add some contextual, some context to it. It's like this movie had a lot of stupid stuff in it. Um, the whole time traveling thing made no sense. Okay, we can travel back in time and get the stones, but it's not the past, it's the future. But then while we're in the past, the lady tells you if you take this thing, it's gonna change the past. But then you just say if you change the past, it's really if you change the past, it's really the future, and the future is really the past. Like it makes no sense at all. Like okay, so if that was the case, then it wouldn't change anything. If you went back and took the stones, it wouldn't change the future because Banner said it wouldn't change the future. So it makes no sense. And first of all, why is Banner giving the laws to the universe when he doesn't even know how to time travel? Makes no sense. And why explain where this portal hole of knowledge where they learn to time travel? And if they already had this knowledge to time travel beforehand, why hasn't that ever been used in any context before this one? I mean, why is Scott Lang a robber, a guy who robs people for a living? How does he even how can his brain even fathom what it takes to time travel to be able to go back and even bring that opinion forth? Makes no sense. But because people love Avengers and they love all the characters, they not even paying. If this was a DC movie, they'd be picking the hell out of it. But because it's a Marvel movie, they're like giving it a million excuses. And I'm not trying to say that it wasn't a good movie. It was a really good movie. So don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say the movie wasn't good. But like all the people watching it, I was engrossed in the characters as well. So my opinion on it could be as tainted as the majority of people. But when you actually sit back and think about a lot of this stuff, it doesn't make any sense. Why didn't they tell Black Widow and that guy beforehand that there had to be a sacrifice in order for to do it? And if that is the sacrifice, I remember in the first Avenger, they told him he had to give up something. He had to give up something that was precious or important to him. The most important thing in the world to him, right? That's why he gave up his daughter. Because if it could have just been willy nilly anything, then you couldn't you just grab like anybody and just toss them in? Like why didn't you just bring like a dog or a freaking cow and just toss that in? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what is the rules for that? Like, makes no sense. And if the idea is that they have to give it up, they're not. Neither one of them gave it up. They were fighting with each other to kill themselves, which made no sense at all. They're not giving anything up. Neither one of them wanted to give the other up, so that makes no sense. Also, so like I said, it makes sense if they give more context, but without the context, that makes no sense. So, like I said, before you go into this movie, and I'm not saying that it wasn't. Once again, I can't say it enough. It was a great movie. Really good movie. One of the best movies I've ever seen. But once again, I am a person who is entrenched in the story. But I think if you brought somebody outside, like my wife or somebody, and to drop them into it, I think they would be looking at it kind of side-eye. Like, this shit makes no sense. Wait, I'm confused. Wait, so they can go back in time and get the stones. Why not just go back in time and kill Thanos with the Supergirl? Go back, kills Thanos. He won't have you know the one reason why they were able to not beat him last time is because he had the thing on his hand, right? So now why not go back in time, just kill him? I mean, you can if you can beat him with the gun, damn near beat him with the gauntlet. Why couldn't you go back in time and beat him then? And like the guy said in the movie, why not just go back in time and kill him when he was a baby? He's like, well, you can't do that because if you go in the past, it won't change the future. It's like, what? But you are gonna change. Then you went in the past, and you did, and the lady said it would change the future. So I'm confused. I am blown away, confused as to why that makes no sense. At least you need to give us more context before you think we're just gonna buy that. And why is freaking Captain America able? I know it was a good fan moment and the whole nine, but why was he able to control Thor's hammer again? I thought it had to be Thor. Like his dad basically made it Thor. So is he saying he's as virtuous? Because Thor wasn't virtuous. He definitely wasn't virtuous when he like basically gave up on his people and was freaking a fat drunk. So I don't understand a lot of this stuff. But there were, like I said, it was an amazing thrill ride, amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Great movie. I'm just pointing out, is it overrated? The type of stuff I'm hearing is the best movie and it's the greatest movie. No, it was not. It had a lot of plot holes in it. A lot of things made no sense. A lot of things when you were looking at it, you're kind of like this is stupid. Like Tony Stark, you know what hell, I just have a hard time buying it that a father would do that. You know what I'm saying? If you are sitting up there, you know that this thing is gonna kill you if you snap your fingers. They were holding their own. You couldn't have got it to Captain Marvel or somebody powerful enough to use the damn thing. Instead, you snap your fingers as if it was of utmost importance for you to do it at that moment. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe you guys can fill it in and make it make more sense than it's made, but it hasn't made any. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So anyway, please, comment. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm just missing things that you guys need to explain to me. But as far as I'm concerned, that was not a flawless movie. It was good. It was great. It just wasn't flawless to me, and it is a tad bit overrated. So, all right, y'all.